Good evening, everybody. Welcome to my Facebook Live. My name is Julia Green. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I go live now on Tuesdays at 8:15. I was unable to come up with a catchy little title for it, so until I do, we're just calling it Facebook Lives on Tuesday at 8:15. So, I used to go live on Friday nights. I had to switch it up. Things are changing here in my world, so I had to kind of switch things up. So, I have a little sneak peek for you tonight. You guys have probably seen this if you follow other demonstrators, but we were able to participate in something called Creativity Now, and it was a couple weeks ago. And we were able to pre-purchase a suite that is coming out in the next mini catalog that comes out in September. And I don't really remember what the suite was called, but the stamp set is called Peace on Earth. So I'm thinking that maybe that has, let's see, and the paper was called Peaceful Garden. So it might be Peaceful Garden Suite, I don't know. But the paper is really, really pretty. We have all kinds of blue tones. That just kind of looks like a wash there. We've got doves, which are so pretty. And then we've got this real cool pattern on the back there. We've got this really pretty pattern. So it's not necessarily Christmassy, and you'll see that the sentiments in the stamp set are not necessarily just Christmas either. But the doves are just really, really pretty. Hey, Chels. Hi, Chloe. Oh, and then we have this one with this one on the back. And then this really pretty one here. And hi, Sandy. Hey, Candy. Hi, Deb. And then it comes with some sparkly paper that I haven't opened yet. And obviously it comes with, look at this ribbon. This ribbon is really, really pretty. This is silver edged ribbon, and I believe it is Misty Moonlight. It comes with this really cool embossing folder. This looks like one that we've had before, very similar to something that we've had before. And then the stamp set, and then these fun little embellishments. So it's a full suite. So I'm gonna make my first card with this one tonight. Chloe didn't see this one. This one was one that Grandma just came up with a little while ago. So this afternoon I had Chloe on our Tuesday Grandma Day, and we hung out up here in the air conditioning because it was too hot to hang out anywhere else. We were having a little heat wave here. It's cooled down now because we had some thunderstorms roll through. So I apologize if we lose connection because we did have a couple of bangers here just a few minutes ago. So anyway, it also comes with this in the dies. Oh, it also has dies with the stamp set. Look at the doves, really pretty. And then that fun die there on the bottom, you can see. So I bet it does make perfect bows. I didn't open it yet, Candy, but so tonight I'm gonna do one card layout, and I'm gonna show you with 4 different suites. And we're gonna start with this one. So all the cards are done what I call easel style. So it is the 4 1/4 by 11 inch, and then you fold that in half, and so you have what I call easel style. And you're going to need, I decided to do a piece of DSP that is 4 1/4 by 3, and then I have a complementary piece that is 4 1/4 by 3 1/2. And you are going to take these and you are going to tear the edges. If you guys have seen the fault line cards, this is kind of similar to that. This is my own little, kind of like my own little spin on this one. Chloe and I had a lot of fun today. She helped me. I'll show you her stamping, and she helped me create one of the cards that we're going to be doing tonight. She was instrumental in creating. She had her chair right over here next to me on on our spot here. So then you're gonna, I ripped too much of that one off. Maybe I didn't have it big enough. Let's get another piece here. Maybe I didn't cut that big enough. That's very well possible. All right, so we wanted it 4 1/4. This one's not quite 4 1/4, so I'm going to do 4 1/4 that way. And then 3 1/2 this way. All right, so you only want to rip off a little bit because you want that edge to show. I don't know if I was ripping too much because I'm busy talking and trying to stamp at the same time. Chloe will tell you things are quite the mess in my stamp room. We did, maybe this one's too big. No, that's 3. Okay. So how I tear was, we sold this fun little ruler many moons ago that you could use for tearing, but I like to just hold my paper and then just tear down through like that. Chloe will tell you my room is a mess. But I did do some cleaning since I came back, Chloe, after dropping you off. I did do a little organizing. You can actually walk around the table now. This afternoon we were kind of walking over stuff. Okay. So then you're going to take your 3 by 4 1/4 piece of DSP. Oops, and I wanted to tear that too. And the reason I want to tear that is because I want the white to show. So our DSP has white core, the printed DSP. So when you do this, you get like another added layer. It's because the white will show through. So that's where I'm going with this anyway. Okay. All right, so now we're going to layer this on top of our Misty Moonlight piece. And you can see we got, so it almost looks like we ended up with 3 layers. Okay, and then we're going to mount that right on to our card base. Just going to put that right there. I kind of did it closer to the top with this one. You'll see some of the other ones I did them a little different, but all kind of like the same layout. All right, and then we're going to layer these 2 together. Before we do that, we're going to use, so in this stamp set there is a sympathy, and we're going to use the sympathy. I don't like to send sympathy cards. I do like to send sympathy cards. I don't like to have to send sympathy cards, but I do think sending sympathy cards are very important. I'm using the new Secret C, and then we're going to layer those 2 together like that. So we can go ahead and layer these 2 on top of each other. And the other color that I'm using is the cloud. What is it called?
Yeah.
They're new colors, so give me a minute. Cloud cover? Yeah, cloud cover. And cloud cover is the one that they have had a really hard time coming up. For some reason, the ink and the pad have some kind of chemical reaction, so they are unable to do the ink, but everything else they've been able to do. So if you do end up wanting that, you can buy a spot and make your own little pad. It doesn't seem to have the same effect with whatever. There's something to do with the pad that it just has some kind of chemical reaction. So I cut another little strip of paper. I'm going to put that on the inside here. Okay, just like that. We're going to mount this down here in this corner, but before we do that, it comes with this nice little die, this twig here. So we're going to put that on there. Make sure I'm doing the back side. Yep. I don't know what my husband's cooking, but it smells good. I ate dinner with Chloe, but he's cooking something on the grill, and it smells really good. Chloe and I had hot dogs and french fries. All right, and then I'm just going to layer this underneath. my salutation there. All right, now I need some dimensionals, and I'm using up a sheet there. Starting another little sheet here. So we're gonna dimensional this. And we're gonna put that down here, at the bottom like this. All right. And then we're gonna put our dove up here. And before I do my dove, I have the little twig for the dove to be carrying in his mouth. And I ended up doing it on the back, so it kind of looked like he was carrying it in his mouth. So I just did a little dot back here. Oops, I'm out of the screen. Sorry about that. And I'm just gonna do, whoa. Dropped it. All right, so I want it to go across like that. All right, and then we're gonna put a dimensional on the back of this guy. And we'll do two. The back of the dove. And we did the dove up here. So pretty. And then this one, I did the DSP on the envelope. And then it comes with these really cool embellishments that are kind of star-shaped, maybe snowflake-shaped, I don't know. But they come in all the pretty blues and then the white, which is really pretty. Cloud cover, yep. That's it. I want to say it's like one of my new favorite colors, and was really disappointed that they couldn't get an ink pad, but I will make myself a little spot. I'll buy the stuff. All right. So there you have it. So that's the first one. And like I said, this stamp set doesn't have any, like, you know, so I no other stamps other than sentiments. So I used the DSP, and I will use the DSP on that one. So there's my first one. All right, now I gotta get everything out of the way here. We'll bring in the second one. Now this is the one that Chloe helped me design. And yep, you guessed it, it's Halloween. Chloe's favorite holiday is Halloween. So she was pretty excited when I pulled this suite out and said, okay, this wasn't the first one we made. We made a different one for the first one, but we pulled this one out and she was like, yeah. So she was all excited. So let me show you the suite. Let me get this stuff out of the way here. So it has a really cute stamp set. Spooky Halloween. Look at those cute little characters. I'm going to back up my camera a little bit. I think I'm a little too. There we go. So cute little characters. We've got some great dies. Little haunted house. Lots of neat little extra dies in there, plus the dies that cut out the stamp things. All right. We've got, look at these. Little stars in white. I say purple, but it is Petunia Pop and black. All right, I don't want to show you the card until we've got some goodie bags that are iridescent. Look at those. All right, let's show you the paper. Let's show you the paper. Okay, so here's the paper. Look at this fun Halloween candy, candy corns, all kinds of fun stuff. and then just kind of a brushed orange and black on the back. We got some other little cute Halloween characters, animals dressed up like for Halloween. And then we have this fun orange and black one on the back. Then this page is pop-outs. You can pop out all these different designs. We've got really cute, look at the hippopotamus. We decided to use the hippopotamus. The trees. You can make a cute little spooky scene. All right, and then you have this page that would make some really cute Halloween tags. And then we have this on the other side. It's like a gray and a black brushed. This cute little one here looks like a spooky apartment building. And then we've got a little brushed one here. This is orange or pumpkin pie in white. And then a cute little scene here that you could do like on the bottom of a scrapbook page. Looks like a little haunted, everybody decorated for Halloween, like a little street. And then on the bottom you've got some card backs, some card bases. Okay, and on the back of that one, ooh, there's that petunia pop. Isn't it fun? So fun little sweet. So we popped out all of our pop-outs, and I put those in a little case, okay? Stamp set, my embellishments, I got an extra piece of paper there. All right, so, and my little goodie bags, I put those over there. I don't want you guys to see my card, because I want to make my card as we go along. There. Okay. So we stamped this little guy, or girl, little cat, little witch cat. And we've got our card base is going to be this cute. We're going to do it with pumpkin pie. Like I said, we're doing an easel. We did black for the 4 1/4 by 3 1/2. And we're going to tear that. Okay, now we're going to tear the piece of DSP. Uh-oh, where did my little broom? Oh, there it is. The little broom. And then we're going to take the piece of DSP. We're going to do the same thing like we did with the other one. We're going to tear it. And like I said, our DSP has that white core, so it's automatically going to give it what looks like 3 layers, because it's going to look like you got a white layer too. That's what I liked about this little layout. Okay, we're going to go ahead and mount that. Okay, now before I mount that, I'm going to do some stamping here. We're going to do Happy Halloween on the bottom. We're going to stamp that right about there. Okay, then we're going to stamp some bats. There's a cute little bat stamp in there. It's a little group of bats flying around. We're going to do another little group of bats over here. And another little group of bats down there. Okay, we can put the black ink away before I have it all over myself. Alright, so now we're going to mount this guy up here. And this one went up a little higher because we wanted the Happy Halloween and the stuff underneath. So we're going to go ahead and mount that. The suspense is killing her. And she did all the coloring on the one that I'm going to show you. So she did all the coloring on the sample one. Okay. So there's our card base. I'm gonna back this up a little bit. Really, there. Now you can see what I'm doing. I don't know why it was so close. As you guys know that have followed me in the past, you guys know that I have issues with my camera thing when it gets humid. It likes to fall down. It sinks down, so that might be what's going on. Whoa. All right, so then we went in and we went in and looked at all of our little guys that we had punched out. So we've got the witch's cauldron and the pumpkins with the crow and the trees and the witch's brooms and all that. But what we really liked was the hippopotamus dressed up like a mummy. Isn't he cute? Isn't he? I think he's cute. And then we needed a little candy corn. And I'll show you our finished product. So here's our finished one. And Chloe did all the coloring on the cute little cat. And we decided, since the cat, when you stamp the cat, he has a black hat. So we decided to do an orange kitty. So for those of you guys, I'm going to show you my age. But if you guys remember Morris, the kitty that used to do the commercials. So we did an orange tabby cat. And then for some reason, when you stamp him, he's got one arm out, and Chloe's like, he kind of looks kind of funny, like he needs something. And we got looking, and we said, oh yeah, look at that, there's a little broom. So you have to stamp and cut out the little broom separately. There's a little die and stuff for that. So there, and then we used the white sparkly stars to give our little card a little something something. And then she decided on the inside, we did the cute little witch's cauldron on the inside. And those are part of the pop-outs too. So that's my second one. And then we stamped the bats and the little pumpkin on the envelope. All right, so I'm gonna put this one back together here. Now the first one that we did, that Chloe helped me do, was with the pear suite. And I used the pear suite the other morning when I did my Sunday morning's coffee and a card. So I really showed you guys all the pieces and parts to that suite. So I'm not going to get into that, but that's one that, again, that went live today. Let me get all this stuff out of here. Let me put all this stuff back over there. All right. Oh, and this one has, we didn't use the ribbon, but this has the petunia pop, and the ribbon is, I think it's, the petunia pop was silver. Oh, it says iridescent. But look at this ribbon. This ribbon is so pretty. And it makes good bows, because it's the same on both sides. All right, so that's card number 2. We're going to put that over here with this guy so that we can remember card number 2. All right. So the first one that we did, like I said, we were using the pear suite. And I love this suite so much. I really, really, really like this suite. So here's all our pieces and parts that we did. Now Chloe stamped all these pears for me, and then we cut them out together on the cutting machine. We stamped those. So, and I will show you how we got that color variation here in a minute. But so we decided to use this piece of paper. This is going to be our DSP, and we did a piece of Cajun Craze as our base. And there's a fun little stamp in here that is just little polka dots. So we started with that. Did I leave it on a block? No. There it is. And we use the new Darling Duckling. And we just randomly stamped the polka dots, or the little dots. Oops, Grandma got him. Grandma's not doing as good here. I got ink all over my block. So what did I do, Chloe? I rocked my block, right? That's what we were learning today. It goes straight up and down when you're inking your block, so you don't get ink all over the block, especially when you're using a block that's a little bit too big for your stamp, which you really shouldn't do if you want to be more successful. All right, so that's about what we did with that. Clean it off. Now we decided we're going to use the Cajun Craze, so we're going to rip that edges. And then we're going to rip our edges on our DSP, and that's going to give us that white look. All right, so we're going to layer these two. Okay, and then we're going to put this one on here on our card base. Just like that. Then Chloe decided she wanted this to be a thank you card. So we're going to grab the thank you out of here. Oops. Looks like that's already on a block somewhere because I didn't put it away. Uh-oh. Good question where it is, Chloe. All right, well, anyway, I will, oh, here it is. Whoop. All right, and we're gonna grab the Cajun Craze, and we're gonna put the little thank you down here, just like that. Perfect. Now we're gonna put the all right, so we're going to put a little glue on the back. This is one of the dies in the set. So we did one kind of going up this way in the corner. And then we did this one kind of going this way. That. Not off our paper though. There. Just like that. Now we took these guys, our pairs that we've already stamped and cut out, and we put a little dot on each one and attached our leaves. Whoops. Like that. These pairs are so, I have to say I think this is my favorite new set. I really, really like this set a lot. Okay, now we did this pair and we're just gonna have this guy lay flat. So we kind of did him kind of going like this. Like And then this guy, we put dimensionals on the back. And we get this one kind of coming down like that. Like that. And then we put the little white flowers up in this corner. Right up in here. Just like that. Now we grab the bling. And we're going to use the little yellow ones here in the centers of our little flowers. So we did 5 of those in the center of each little flower over here. And then we did 3 of the big green guys. We did one over here, one over here, and one up in the top corner. Right there. Let's do it right there. All right, now, how we got the pears to look like that? Let's stamp a pear on the inside. So we're going to take the pear lining, or the outline of the pear, and then we need the inside of the pear. We also need the leaves and the insides of the leaves. Okay, so we stamped the outline of the pear with Mossy Meadow. Can you hear? Can't hear you well. Check my settings. Anyone else? It might be because I have the air conditioning running. There is an air conditioner running in the background. Sorry about that. But my stamp room is on the 2nd floor. There's no way I can be in here without the air conditioner going right now. Sorry about that. And then we stamped. Yep, the sweet sale is over. That's when I got all these sweets. All right, then we stamped with the Darling Duckling, and we took a sponge dauber with the Cajun Craze, and we did the edges. And Chloe did this all on her own, and then came in and stamped the pear on the inside. And then the leaves, we just did the outline with Mossy Meadow, and then the insides of the leaves with the Mossy Meadow. Just like that. So there's our pear on the inside. So here's the one that Chloe stamped. Here's our sample. She stamped the inside, and she stamped the envelope. And she really liked it. It was the whole, stamping inside the line. So it was kind of cool. Now when we stamped these, after we cut them out, we had a little bit of white on the edges. I just took the sponge dauber and just sponged them a little bit with the Cajun Craze around the outside edges to just kind of take that white away. But I really like this stamp set a lot. I love the way it stamps the pears. So the only thing you might have to do is use one of our mats, and because depending on whatever surface you're stamping them on. So anyway, that's that one. All right, and I have one more to show you. And then I'll show you all 5 using this same layout and how you can just take a layout, grab different supplies, and voila, you can have all kinds of different cards using the same layout. All right, so my last one, I'm going to use the Charming Day suite. This is another new one, and this one matched this this month's paper pumpkin. So I stuck this month's paper pumpkin inside of here because it matches. All the stuff matches the paper, and it gives you a few more sentiments, which I thought was kind of nice. Hi, Stacy. Hey, Susan. How are you? Are you guys in North Carolina or South Carolina? I was just in North Carolina 2 weeks ago at the Outer Banks. We had a great time, family vacay. All right, so here's the last one that I'm gonna do. And you can see it's the same layout. I've tore the paper, only this time I did both DSP, 2 different pieces of the DSP. So you could leave the other one solid if you wanted, and then just tear this one, or I tore both. I think if I was to do it again, I would probably only tear that one, and then it would just give you that layer. And then this is from the Spotlight on Nature Circles, and I did something a little bit different this time. I just did the circle down there, and this time we used the ribbon, and check out that ribbon. That's that Mossy Meadow ribbon that comes with the pears. It is so pretty. It's got gold thread through the Mossy Meadow ribbon. So I want to show you just one little trick that I did here when I did the Let's Celebrate You, which was from the paper pumpkin. But I love our photopolymer, but I also love our rubber stamps. And one of the reasons I like the rubber is because I like to do this particular technique, and this particular technique doesn't always work on the photopolymer as well as it does on the rubber. So what I like to do is I like to color on the stamps with my Stampin' Write markers. So you can't do this with the blends because the blends are alcohol ink, but you can do this with the Stampin' Write markers. So what I do is I come in and I lay my marker on the paintbrush side, and I lay it pretty much flat, and then just color my image. And I'm gonna color, that's Petal Pink, and then I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna do the leaves with Mossy Meadow. Okay, and then I took a little bit of Cajun Craze and just did a little bit on the inside of the center of the flower, because that's kind of like how the paper looked to me. And then I stamped this right in the center of my circle. Okay, it's very subtle and light. You don't really, it's not dark at all, but it just gives it a little something. And then I took my salutation, which I don't know what I did with here. Oh, right here. Let's Celebrate You. And I'm going to stamp that with Early Espresso. And don't ask me why I'm using an old Early Espresso ink pad. It's because I can't find my new one, or my newer one. Anyway. And I just stamped that right in the center, right over top. And it came out nice and dark so you could see it, but then they have that little subtle bit of the image in the background. All right, so let me get all my samples that I did for you tonight, and then I stamped that same thing on the envelope to match the card, because and then I also did the same thing on the inside. I stamped the inside. And then this particular suite has these fun embellishments, and I used 3 of those on there. You can see them sparkling away. All right, so let's get all 4 cards out here so you can see all 4 cards done with the same layout. Just switched up the suites, and you get 4 different cards for 4 different occasions. All right. Where's my Halloween one? Right, Chloe? Where's the Halloween one? All right, there's the Halloween. Let's see if we can straighten up the thing there. Yeah, there we go. And there's the one I just demonstrated. We've got this one with the pear. Can we come out more? That's in. Let's come out more. Or I guess as far as it comes out. Let's get all this out of the way. And then there's our sympathy one with the new suite that's coming out in the next catalog. All right, let's see. Let's see if I can move this back a little bit. All right. So we've used the same layout, 4 different suites. Sorry, but I think the pears are my favorite. Next to the Halloween one though, Chloe. So, all right guys, so that's all I got for you tonight. Thank you so much. Like I said, I'll be doing Tuesdays. Don't forget, if you like a little quick Paper Pumpkin is our monthly subscription kit. Everything that you need comes in the cute little kit. This one looks like it's going to be fun with the strawberries. We also have an add-on framelit that goes, which for some reason I don't have a picture of, that you can add on so that you can, and like I showed you tonight, the Charming Day stamp set, the Paper Pumpkin one matched. So I have literally, I'm going to end up keeping this one in my collection. And so I've gone ahead and I've put the stamp set right in here, and I will probably add the framelit that matches as well. All right, and then if you guys are scrapbookers and you're looking for a fun little thing, they are going to have the virtual album retreat. I just bought my kit actually yesterday. And so you will be making 12 layouts. It goes over 2 days. There'll be demonstrations, tips and tricks, all kinds of stuff. And it's in a private Facebook group. So you can watch it at your leisure. If those days and times are not good for you, you can always look at it at another time, which I think is really great. That happens pretty much with all of our, anytime you post things on Facebook. The only thing with Facebook right now is after 30 days, I think they take your videos down. So I'm not really sure about that. I don't know if they are going to be putting this on YouTube or how that's going to, I have an odd one lot, but can anyone do this? It's you. Check out the Strawberry Fields gummies from Trader Joe's. Great from the Paper Pumpkin. Oh, neat. That would be really cool. You have a, oh yes, Stacy, I take requests depending on what kind of request you're talking about. So, I'm working on a mystery card night for this month. You guys all know I give you a list of supplies. You just come and check out. And then we make cards together, which is really fun. And I think that's all I got for you tonight. I'm getting tired and starting to ramble. I'm sorry. I've been going since 6 o'clock this morning. I had lots of gardening to do that I wanted to get done before it got hot. And then Chloe and I were up here crafting this afternoon. So I'm pooped. So, and whatever my husband's cooking smells really good. So I think I'm going to go down and investigate what he's cooking. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you saw anything here tonight that you think you might like to purchase, you can always go to my website and you can check out everything there. All this stuff has gone live now, so you will be able to check it out. All right, guys, have a great rest of your night. Come on back Sunday mornings for a quick card demonstration called Coffee and a Card. I'll come up with some kind of fun name for this for my Tuesday nights stamping as well. So we'll come up with some kind of fun name anyway. So all right guys, stay cool, and hopefully we'll all be stamping together real soon.